Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Unicorn Fairy. It's me, Lee, and today we're going to do a Pikachu ring for my son that glows in the dark with acrylic powder. I'm using Easy Flow clear acrylic powder, and this is the yellow glow in the dark acrylic powder that I made myself. So gonna need some backing foam sheets without the backing forms on. You're gonna need some jewellery wire to make the ring part of this, which I'm showing you here. It's flat jewellery wire. You'll also need a ring gauge, which is the black stick thing. Mine's a US and European measurer size thing. Yeah, that's what this is here. And you're gonna wrap a piece of backing paper around and then put the metal ring thing onto it. I also have a picture of Pikachu. This is what he wanted as the ring, which I'm using this yellow, even though the yellow's not the same. I know I'm rambling and I'm really sorry about that. And basically you're just going to put the backing foam over the top of the picture you've made to use that as a guide. So as you can see here, I've put the backing foam attached it to the ring gauge, and then I put the metal ring to the size that I need, because this ring is for my little boy. And you need to leave the gap between the rings so that the acrylic has something to stick to, and you know, instead of it being stuck on the metal, instead of it will be more part of the ring instead. I hope that makes sense. Here I'm just making sure all of my pots of acrylic is open so that they're easy to access when I start making the Pikachu part of the ring. So the next step is to put your piece of backing paper over your picture of Pikachu, and then I'm going to start by getting some white and making I'm assuming it's the bowl that Pikachu's drinking his milk out of, and then I'm going to form that. Okay, so the next step is to build a clear base of clear. This is mainly because clear is a builder gel, builder acrylic, so it's got more strength, no pigment. So I'm just gonna go around the inside of the Pikachu, as you can see me doing here, and this is just to give me a base layer, which then I'll go in with the yellow glow in the dark. Okay, so the next step is to go over with your yellow acrylic. This is a glow in the dark one that I made, and you're basically just going over all of the clear that you've just done with the yellow and making sure you get that all on properly and where you want it. So once you've applied all of your yellow glow in the dark powder, you want to clear cap all of this Pikachu in clear, just to give it some extra strength, and then I will be back to tell you the next step. Okay, so I've peeled Pikachu off the backing paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip him over and clear cap the back, mainly just to give it a bit more strength and structure, because obviously it's quite thin and you don't want it to just snap really easily. Okay, so once it's clear capped and all dry, what you want to do is get a file and just file over the edges, you know, to make it smooth and a bit tidier, because obviously you don't want to catch yourself on any loose acrylic, and you obviously want it to look a bit more presentable. I actually did get my drill bit out for my e-file and to try and refine some of the you know, the smaller details, you know, like between the leg and the tail mainly, just so it looked a bit more Pikachu-ish. Okay, so now as you can see I've got my ring gauge and I'm getting some clear acrylic, and what I'm going to do is the gap between the two pieces of metal on the ring that I've made, I'm going to fill that in with some clear to attach the ring basically and make sure that the ring is together and, you know, secure basically, and then I'm going to attach Pikachu onto the clear bit I've done and wait for that to set up before I just go and flip it over and add some extra acrylic just to secure Pikachu on better to the ring itself. As you can see me doing here, I'm actually adding the acrylic underneath where the ring meets Pikachu just to fill it in and obviously make sure it's secure properly. Next step is to sort out all your acrylic paints. I have a yellow, but I decided not to paint him, but you can paint Pikachu if you want. And once Pikachu's all dry, you want to remove the backing paper from the ring gauge and off the ring gauge, and just make sure everything's fine, and just fill it in where you see necessary, you know, with the clear acrylic, just to make sure it's all okay. And that's what you see me doing here, and just making sure that it's a bit even. Okay, so the next bit here is I've got some brushes, my paints, a little dapping dish with some water in, and a dotting tool, and obviously the picture of Pikachu and the ring. You also need a backing foam because you can put your paints on the backing foam to use the backing foam as a palette, and that's what I'm doing here. So I'm adding black, red, brown and white because they're the colours I'm going to be using. So with the white, I'm just going to go over the milk bowl bit and make it so it looks more white, because obviously I don't want it to be dingy white. And here I'm trying to mix grey. This is to do like shadowing and stuff. It didn't turn out as nice as I would have liked, but it turned out not so bad. My little boy loves him, so can't grumble at that really. So you dip your water, by the way, into the dip your brush into the water and then mix it with the paint. This is what gives it so it's a little bit easier to you know, make the paint more smoother to go onto when you're painting. I'm sorry I'm rambling, it's like God knows what time in the morning here. So I've put red because on the picture here you can see one of his cheeks, and then I'm putting brown where his tail meets his back hind, and then 2 brown lines for Pikachu's Pikachu lines on his body. I don't actually know what the, you know, his detailing. And as you can see, I did cut into where his second ear would be on the body, which you'll see me go in with grey and highlight where I see necessary to try and make it so you can see it all better. Okay, so don't forget, mix the water on your brush and mix it in with the black. So I'm going in with black to put the black on the end of Pikachu's ears and obviously his eyes, and then obviously you're going to put a dot of white on the black eyes once it's dry, so that you can have the catch lights or whatever they're called. And obviously make sure that when you've done it you do some of the details underneath, because obviously you don't want it to look odd if it's on the floor on, you know, if it's not out on basically. So here you see me putting the eyes. See, it doesn't turn out as good as I would have liked it to. I've realised as I've gone along that I forgot to put Pikachu's little red tongue, and I'm just going over the colours again if I think they need it, so they're a bit more pigmented, the colours, and obviously put his tongue in place. Okay, so you have to let Pikachu completely dry, all the paint, so it doesn't smudge. I think I didn't. I think I got a bit impatient, if I remember right. And what you do is, once it's all dry, you just go over with a top coat of some sort. I used Nail's air dry top coat. It was the one that was handy at the time, and leave that to dry. And as you saw, I put Pikachu in the lamp. As you can see, it's got a bit of a tiny glow, and here it is when I've turned it off, turned the light off, so you can see it glowing in the dark. And I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and let's all make it shine. And I hope you come back to watch the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.